In the first place, I would think that you believe that, oh, Mr. Yap, you are aiming for 8%, then isn't that too low? In the first place, we cannot, the money, if you put in the bank, is giving you a return about 4%. So you can't put all your money into the EPF in the first place to enjoy 6%. And your information is not always every year the EPF will give you 6%. Sometimes they give you 5.5%, sometimes they give you 5%. So to aim for 8% is actually not too low return for that if we put that into the right context. If inflation is 5%, you're able to use the 8% to cover the inflation impact, and at the same time you got another additional 3% to grow your money, to compound your money faster to achieve your financial goals. Some people, maybe you are new to investment world, and you may find, say, why don't we aim for 15% return? Because there's no crime to aim for 15% return or even 30% return. But the question is that, what are the investments out there that promise 30% return that eventually really give you 30% return? So what I'm trying to say here is that, so whatever promise return or whatever target return that you have, maybe like 20% or 25%, may not be realized into the actual return. Chances are, you're not careful, when you aim for high returns, instead of gaining the high return of 15-20%, you may end up losing negative 20% or 30%. So instead of growing your money, accumulate more fund, you may end up depleting the hard-earned money. In the industry, or you have been investing long enough, you will know that to achieve high return or super high return continuously every year, it is not something realistic. To know a unit trust investment, whether it is a good investment or not good investment, is very important to compare it to the peers. If you're talking about Asia or Asia Pacific Equity Unit Trust Fund, we should compare it to the performance of 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, or even 10 years with the other Asia Pacific equity funds. And we should look at not only the return, we should look at also the volatility, we should also look at the Sharpe ratio of this fund compared to other peers. Then only we can determine whether this fund is a good fund or not. But to me, whenever we invest, it's quite risky for us to invest into one particular fund. Even if you want to invest into the Asia region, I would suggest to find maybe 2 or 3 funds who are best of breed fund in the Asia Pacific region and invest your money into it. So later on, when you come out just now, whether you say you want to apply the dollar cost averaging strategy, then it's also easier for you to do so, because you are not depending solely on the performance of the one fund or one fund manager. At least you got 3 different funds that form an Asia Pacific equity portfolio for you to bet on its recovery and then give you your target return.